Hey guys, it's Sam with the Blind Spot. So today I finally get to go check out the brand new eSight system. Supposed to be really cool. I'm pretty excited about it. We are here at our hotel getting ready to leave to head over to the other hotel where I get to do this. So hang out, we'll be right back. Alright guys, so we are on our way to the hotel. We have compiled all your questions to ask the people, the eSight people, and hopefully get some answers for you guys. So we will be there shortly. See you in a minute. This is all one big hotel. This is where they chose to do it. They had to pick the biggest one in the city. And we can't find the entrance we're supposed to go to.
There is a forehead band that goes around the front of your forehead, a back strap that goes around the back of your head, and there's two magnets on either side, just sit a little lower than your temple. These are just plain frames. If you were to have a distance prescription, we would pop them in. But for today, I think we'll start with just the plain ones, okay? What the magnets are for is they clip on to the head-mounted electronics.
When I first got there, I took a very simple eye test. Tara, the eSight representative, held up an eye chart, and I had to take the test with just my normal eyesight. Then after she showed me the eSight goggles and gave me a quick demonstration, I took the test again wearing the goggles, and it was actually pretty incredible how far down the chart I could see using the goggles.
That part there.
Yeah.
So that's the video camera. So that sits just a little higher than the bridge of your nose and is pointed on a downward angle. So wherever you point the tip of your nose, that's where the camera is going to look.
I also tried to read some text without the goggles and then later on with the goggles on, and actually didn't really help very much at all. It was very difficult for me to read through the goggles. The eSight goggles don't have any image stabilization software built in, but that is something that they're working on. In fact, Tara said that it would be in the next software update.
Sure works. So the larger dial to your left is for zoom or magnification. Zooms up to 14 times. There's about 10 turns. So that carrying case, whoops, the controller you would carry in a carrying case has a belt loop on the back. You can attach it to your belt.
So you don't have to hold it in your hand the whole time you're walking around?
No, exactly. You can be hands-free with it, which is nice.
The goggles control box comes with a 4GB memory card, which has all the software on it. And in fact, when they send out new software updates, that's how they send it to you. They just send you a brand new memory card and you swap out with the old one.
Up top, in between those two, you'll feel a trackpad with a raised dot. Feel that? Perfect. So to the north of that dot, there's a button. If you push down on that button, right there, perfect. Awesome. That's home. So that resets everything. So if you have a lot of contrast, a lot of magnification, you just want to start off at square one, press home, you go back to its default settings. Okay?
I asked if you could put in a larger memory card, like a 16GB, and she said no, 4GB is all it supports. The goggles do take still images, and with that 4GB memory card, you can hold up to about 1,000 pictures. It's not full HD quality pictures, they're probably closer to VGA.
So those are just attached by magnet?
They are, yes.
Okay.
How does that feel, Sam?
Fine, I guess.
It's okay?
Yeah, I heard or seen on other videos people talking about how it doesn't weigh down on the front of the face, and that's true. It is more balanced on the head instead of like the nose, like you said.
Exactly.
The camera does have autofocus, and that is good up to about 12 inches. Any closer than 12 inches and it can't focus. I asked about the lens technology within the goggles and was told that it's OLED, which is pretty good. It's better than just standard LCD. She also said the resolution is 1024 by 768, so pretty much right around HD. And the camera itself is 1080. We asked about insurance for the device, and she said most people would include it in their homeowner's insurance. I asked if the device would be available overseas. In particular, someone asked about Australia, and she said it's not available right now because they don't have a way to ship it, but possibly in the future.
Up, and then just glancing up into those screens.
Okay, so you're still using your own vision to navigate and then just using that for detail.
Exactly.
I thought maybe it came down in front of your eyes, and then when you're not using it, it went up.
Nope.
I was curious how long it takes to adjust to the device. She said that there is a 5-month training period, and eSight is very hands-on with that, but it depends on the person. Some people pick it up right away, some people it takes much longer.
And there's a little icon that pops up in the top left of the screen that maybe says, does it say autofocus and has a line through it?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that show up on the screen there too?
It does.
Okay.
What shows up on the screen is pretty much exactly what he's seeing, right?
Exactly.
It's just a duplicate of it.
Exactly.
So when you zoom in, it's a bit jarring of a zoom. It just kind of jumps. It doesn't slowly zoom in. The home button takes it back to. And you said it was 1.5 times zoom?
1.5 times zoom and no contrast. So for the reason for that jump in the zoom, whenever it's doing it, so it's not fluid. So if you just kind of spun it, you could end up at, much more zoom than you would want. So we have that clicking, so it actually shows you the stages of zoom that you're at.
I see. Okay. And then there is an audible, you hear it zooming in the headpiece.
Yes, the infrared sensors are on the left-hand side, those two little squares.
Okay.
So Sam has found that looking out the window, it's so bright that he can't really even see the screens very well, which is probably because he's so light sensitive. It's probably not an issue that maybe everyone has, but it's definitely an issue for him.
Bumping up the contrast helps. The herky-jerky movement that I had talked about with my Jordy glasses is not as big of an issue with these, so that is something that is good.
And that's something that she said their engineers are actively working on is image stabilization.
I'm gonna watch these people down here.
Creeper.
All right, guys. Well, we just got out of the eSight appointment, but just wanted to do a real quick, just our immediate thoughts after doing the demo. And I gotta say, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed. It wasn't the amazing thing that I thought it was going to be. For me, it just didn't work very well.
For him.
For me. It might be different for other people. I really hope it is. Definitely it's going to be one of those things where you're going to want to check it out, because I was going into this thinking that it's going to be amazing and it's going to be life-changing, and it wasn't at all. So I'm really glad I got the opportunity to do the demonstration. The lady, Tara, she was amazing. She was very, very nice. She's the representative from eSight. Very informative, answered all the questions, and even let me go well over my scheduled time. I was supposed to only have an hour, and it went much longer.
She checked his visual acuity before he put on the goggles and then again after. And there was a huge difference. He could see, I think she said it was an improvement of like 400 feet or something. I mean, it was a big difference. But unfortunately for Sam, that didn't parlay into just everyday walking around, real world stuff. It helped him read a little bit, but not enough to really make it worthwhile. It's not like he could put those on and just pick up a book and read it.
Yeah. And my blind spot was definitely still there, and
made it difficult to use the glasses because it's a screen floating in front of you here, and my blind spot took up a big chunk of that screen. I still had to kind of look off to the side to be able to see, and so it didn't improve it very much for me.
And then also, you should tell them about walking up to the window and the problems you had with the light.
Yeah, well, because the glasses are up here, the goggles are up here, so you still, looking down, you can see everything below you. You just look up to see the screen. I thought they came down and completely covered your eyes, and they don't. So if you've ever tried to look at a cell phone outside, it's so bright that it's really hard to see the screen. So that's how it was for me. I went to the window and I couldn't see this screen up here because everything down here was just so bright. I had to try and hold my hand up to block the light coming in. So for me, if it were one piece that completely covered my eyes and covered up my peripheral, that would be much better for me. I needed a large screen and dark. In fact, we went back inside and she took off the headpiece, and there's the headpiece, the glasses, and then the electronics click onto that. So she took off the headpiece, and I was just holding the electronics lenses to my eyes, and I could get them much closer, and it was completely covering my eyes and blocking out all the light. I could see it much better. For me, it would work much better if it were like that rather than the design that they have right now. And I told Tara that, and we talked about changing hardware in the future and what would work better for someone like me. Unfortunately, my vision impairment is not the only one out there, and what is going to work better for me possibly would not work better for someone else. So that's one of the issues they have to face in the future. And she talked about right now they don't foresee any hardware changes, but
well, not in the immediate future.
Not in the immediate future, but she said that within, in 5 years from now, it could look completely different. They are trying to go towards what would look like just a pair of Ray-Bans, she said. But it's not in the immediate future. But there will be updates in the future, and they will be free. The software updates will be free. Hardware updates, she said, they don't have anything set in stone yet, but it'll probably be something like a trade-in. You trade in your old goggles, and you get the new goggles at a much reduced rate. Or an upgrade. You pay the upgrade fee rather than paying the full price. She said they don't have anything set up yet for that, but they will definitely take care of current customers when that comes up. Ultimately, it looks like the prices aren't coming down anytime soon, and there is no financing available through eSight. It's you either pay the full amount or you can't get them. The way it works is you give them $1,000, they start your order, they build the glasses, and then you have to give them the other $14,000 before you actually receive the glasses. I took a picture of all the stuff you get. There's a carrying case, there's a little carrying bag for the battery. You get 2 batteries. They last for about 4 hours. It takes about 3 hours to charge a battery. You get 2 of them. Drawback is you have to charge within the unit. So you can't be using one and charging one separately and then switch them out. She talked about ultimately, the goal would be to make them smaller, make them lighter, make them wireless. Being able to switch the contrast was nice, but if you do too much, for me anyways, it made it black and white. Everything looked black and white.
Well, and she did say that. She said the more you adjust the contrast, you do lose color. Yeah,
and I was telling Rachel that for me, it kind of reminded me of those old security system monitors where it's kind of poor quality and it's black and white, and sometimes it's hard to tell. You can tell it's a person walking there, but it's hard to tell exactly detail. That's how it was for me. It didn't matter how far I zoomed in, I couldn't really see it. We went out into the kind of the lobby area, and I was trying to see the people. We were up above, but it was all open, and I was trying to see the people working behind the desk,
and I couldn't even find the desk because I couldn't tell what I was looking at. It just didn't work very well for me, and it's kind of a bummer. Okay, so I've got your questions here. I've got some notes that we took. The eSight glasses take pictures. You can take still pictures, and it can hold about 1,000 pictures. They're not high quality pictures. You know, we tested out taking the pictures, and as you saw in the video, that it was hooked up to a monitor, so it's not bad. It's actually not bad, the pictures. It's great if you were at an event, a kid's birthday party, and you wanted to take some pictures of, you know, the child while they're blowing out candles, things like that. I also see it being very helpful if you were trying to read instructions on the back of a macaroni box, for example, you know, and you're trying to read and the camera is jumping around like this. It would be difficult to read. So what you could do is just snap a picture real quick, read that part. That might be a little bit better. We talked about wireless, changing the hardware to wireless, and it's just not practical right now because you can't do real-time transfer of video to a control box for, you know, wirelessly. There would be too much of a delay. So that's something that they're going to look at in the future. Someone asked about watching TV. You can. It comes with HDMI cable, as I said, and you can plug that directly up to a DVD player or a cable box. If you needed to watch it on TV and in your goggles at the same time, say other people in the room want to watch it, you would have to purchase a splitter, an HDMI splitter, which you can get those on Amazon for like just a couple bucks. It's not too bad at all. Now, because it does hook up with HDMI, that means you can also connect it to video game consoles. So an Xbox, a PS4, something like that, PS3, anything that connects with HDMI. Also your laptop, so you can do your computing and everything in your goggles. It would be impossible for me to do that. It's like my monitor right now is a 32-inch TV and I still have to zoom in order to see everything. So this tiny little screen right here in front of me, I wouldn't be able to see a thing. And that's the other problem with watching TV, is it's a tiny little screen hovering right in front of my face. When, you know, I sit in front of my TV, which is behind the camera there, and it's a 44-inch, something like that, and I'm still sitting this far away from it in order to see it. So a tiny little screen, there's no way I would be able to see what's going on. And that's part of the problem why they just don't work for me. Now, also with that, using it with your laptop, you can use Zoomtext, and it has a gyroscopic function in the headset. I didn't get to test this out, but she says that as you tilt your head, the screen will follow the computer screen inside the goggles. So if you want your mouse to go this way, or when you're zoomed in, if you want the picture to look over on the left side, you would tilt to the left. Something like that. Once again, I didn't get to test it. It seems pretty cool though. I talked about hardware specs, the battery, I talked about all that earlier in the video, so go back if you missed that. Payment plans going down, as I said before, doesn't look like it anytime soon, but it seems like it would have to. The more they sell, the cheaper they're going to be able to offer these things for. Hopefully they will, because it's cool. Bottom line is, it didn't work for me, unfortunately, and I'm pretty bummed out about that because I really hoped it would, because I want to see just as much as the next guy, but it just doesn't work for me at all. But that doesn't mean it doesn't work for everybody. It's worked for a lot of people. There's video evidence of that on YouTube that it's working for some people. So ultimately, it's great technology. Unfortunately, it didn't work for me, but I'm eager to see where it's going in the future. Hopefully, they'll keep the momentum going and keep developing it. And bottom line, it's definitely worth checking out. So go to their website, see if they're coming to an area near you, and make an appointment to try it out. Go do the demo. But that's it for me, guys. This is Sam with The Blind Spot. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any more questions, please leave them down below in the comments, and I'll do my best to help out. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, the like, share this on Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. And I will see you next time.